All right, I've been teaching with Vipkid for about 10 months now, and I have definitely noticed some pros and cons to this company. So I'm going to share those pros and cons with you so you can decide if this is something that you could see yourself doing or not. I came up with 8 pros and 8 cons. So I'll go through all of them. I'm going to try to do it kind of quickly because it is a lot of information, but yeah, hopefully you find this helpful. So we'll start with the pros. The first pro is that the starting pay is pretty darn good. So it starts from $16 to $22 an hour. And that is just the base rate because you can definitely make more with all of the incentives that Vipkid offers. I'm not going to go into all of the incentives, but trust me, there are several. So you can make more on top of that. And if a kid cancels within 24 hours, you still get paid for that class. So don't feel like, oh, I'm going to get screwed over somehow or another. No, they make sure that you get that pay. If you invested your time and said, hey, I'm not going to do anything because I wanted to work this and a class was signed up with me, then if they cancel within 24 hours, you will still get the full pay for that class, which I find awesome. Now, second pro is that you get to completely choose your schedule. Every single week you can decide, do I want to work this Friday? Do I want to work in the morning? Am I traveling? Is it a bad idea to do? You can completely decide. And if you decide, hey, you know what? I do have some time to teach. You can open up classes. You can close classes if they're not booked. You could just take them off. It's very, very convenient. I love that you have the flexibility of choosing when you work, how much you work, how often. It's completely on you. It's a huge pro. All right. The third pro is that they're one-on-one classes. You will never teach more than one student. It will be one student there, and it's a dream job because it's not chaotic at all when it comes to teaching. I used to work in the regular classroom and I know chaos. All right, it can be very stressful when you have 32 kids in your class and you're expected to take care of all of them, teach them, counsel them, assess them, do all of those things, right? This is basically just you with that one student, figuring out what level they're at, what works best for them, and just delivering a great lesson with the materials that they give you. You do not have to prep the materials. They give you everything, which is my fourth pro. The materials are ready to go, and you can be very flexible with it. It's not a 1, 2, 3 step type of teaching style, all right? You get to deliver it the way you want to. So I can have a student that I am very silly with, and then I can have my serious student that I kind of decide, you know what, I know that they struggle with this. I'm going to make sure that we focus on this today. Like, you completely make it your own. Every class, make it your own and do what you feel is best for that student. As long as you go through the material that they give you, it's very flexible in how you actually deliver the material. So I love that. The classes are only 25 minutes. Like I said, one-on-one. Kids are very well disciplined, and the prep time really is just up to you. If you want to add additional things, then you can, but you are not required to. So the material they give you, that's what they want you to teach, and it's up to you if you do anything else besides that, if you show them things or have fun little toys or whatever it is. Number 5, obviously you're working online, so it's going to be a very chill work environment. You can literally wake up 10 minutes before your class, brush your teeth, brush your hair, put on a plain t-shirt, and you're ready to teach. You're not an intense, very business savvy environment. It's more of a very chill, relaxed, having fun with the kids and making the lessons engaging to them. So as you can tell, it's going to be a chill situation that you can just really enjoy and not feel a lot of pressure. Number 6, you can teach anywhere because it's online. So for those of you travelers that, like to go from place to place, or you're transitioning a lot or whatever it is, all you need is an internet connection and obviously a computer, and you can teach from anywhere and make sure that you get that income. Number 7, there is definitely a lot of professional development. There are workshops that you can sign up for that will teach you things that you find you need work on in the classroom, if you are struggling in a particular area or have questions about how to do this or that, there are tons of workshops and teachers that have lots of experience that want to help and love to help and are getting paid to give you this professional development. So just because you're teaching online, don't feel like you're alone out there. The Vipkid community is awesome, and they give you the support you need in order to grow and advance in this profession. All right, and the 8th pro is basically the fact that the company is growing so rapidly. I find this to be a great thing, because what does that mean? That means there's going to be more students, there's going to be more opportunity for growth within the company. If you potentially could be someone that's training other teachers, someone who's hiring other teachers, someone who is marketing for the company, there's definitely going to be growth within the company because they're expanding so rapidly. So yes, those are my 8 pros. I will now go into the 8 cons, but hopefully that gives you a good foundation on what to look forward to if you are thinking about doing this. All right, now I'll go over the cons. Now I have 8 cons, and I'm going to go over them, but I'm also going to kind of share some solutions with them, because even though they're cons, there's definitely ways to make them not so bad for sure. The first one is the crazy hours. Now, because it's based off of China's time, that means you're working early mornings and pretty much weekends, because the kids aren't in school during that time. Early mornings are typically when they're done with school. So I work every day from 5 to 9 in the morning, which I have gotten used to, and it's not so bad for me because I've made it a routine and a part of my life. I get to bed on time. I have my morning routine. I've made it to where it's just what I do. So this can be really rough for some people, and they just decide, you know what, there's no way I can wake up that early, or I'm just not into that, which, in that case, that's your, personal choice. But if you're willing to say, I can wake up this early, or I am willing to work some weekends so I can get those hours, it really just depends on how much you want to work, and what you're willing to do in order to get a certain amount of classes if you're looking to make a certain amount from this job. So the crazy hours definitely would be on my cons, because if you're not a morning person, or if you obviously want to go out every Friday and Saturday night or something like that, then this job would be, it is tough because the hours are very different. But it's something that you can definitely work with if you manage to figure out a schedule and make it realistic for you. The second con is that it's kind of a hard start. So it's not a guarantee that you're going to have fully booked classes right away. The parents choose which teachers they want to teach their kids. So you have to appeal to these parents, and they have to say, oh, I want that teacher to teach my child. And how does that happen? You basically have to market yourself. You create an introduction video, you upload all the documents of your credentials, you write a little short biography, you post some pictures of yourself, so they kind of have a profile of you. And with this profile, they decide, oh, I like this teacher, and oh, look at her ratings from the classes she has already taught, because every parent can rate the class. After you teach it, they can give you up to 5 apples to say, hey, that was an excellent class, or 4 is kind of like, that was a great class, 3 is like good, and 2, it goes down from there. But basically, you have to build your reputation up, your rapport with these parents, so that they'll keep booking and you get your regular students. But it's just not something that happens right away. So the first month or 2, you're really just building yourself up. The third con is that you're stationary a lot. You're going to be kind of sitting in the same spot looking into a computer for long periods of time. You do get 5-minute breaks, so this is something where you can get up and move around. You can also create kind of like a stand-up workstation, so you're not sitting down the whole time you're teaching. If you're doing back-to-back classes and you sit down the whole time, I find this to be a con. I find it that it's not really great for your body, and that it actually just doesn't help people who are active, who are used to moving around. It's not fun in that way. So the adjustment to that is just, like I said, making up a stand-up workstation and moving around during those 5-minute breaks so you get your body flowing. But it's definitely something that you can kind of adjust with. Number 4, it's a little bit repetitive. You will be teaching a lot of the same lessons, but as in how you deliver them, the students that you're teaching them to, that can change your lesson up a lot. So even though, you're going through this lesson cycle, I already taught this one, or, I feel like I'm teaching this one a lot, you can still mix it up and make it fun. And what you bring into the classroom and how you deliver it can really make it seem unique. So the material, yes, you're flipping through material, the same material sometimes, but for the most part, you're your own teacher and you do your own thing. So you make it not so boring or repetitive. You make it different every time. You have a different student. You have different props that you can use. You could deliver the lesson a little bit differently. You can learn from how you taught it the last time and change it up a little bit. It's completely up to you. You don't have to make it exactly the same every single time. And number 5, the marketing. This is just something that you're just going to have to keep up with. It's not one of those guaranteed because the parents are choosing. Like I said from the beginning, the hard start. You're going to constantly need to remember to market yourself and to update things and to make sure that you're getting those good ratings. You have to stay on top of it. If you don't stay on top of it, you can fall off, and then those parents are going to choose other teachers. So you just have to be aware of how you present yourself and what you're doing as a teacher to constantly make sure that you are getting that full schedule that you want, or at least the classes that you want. And number 6, asking off. Asking off can be, it's not like a typical job where you just say, oh, I'm not able to work this date, can I get it off or something like that, or I'm going on vacation. It doesn't work that way. Basically, you have 6 months contracts, and in these 6-month contracts, you're able to have 6 cancellations. Right now, a cancellation can be something like a teacher no-show where you just don't show up to the class, you missed class for some reason, there was a technology issue, or whatever, for whatever reason, you don't show up and teach the class, or you cancel the class because you feel sick, or there was an IT issue and it's not something that they see was sufficient enough for them to count as a soft cancellation where it doesn't count against you. If you cancel anywhere from 1 to 3 classes in a day, that counts as 1 cancellation. If you cancel 4 or more classes in a day, that will count for at least 2 cancellations. So it's pretty particular. If you don't want to get past 6 cancellations in a contract period, because that's when they can say, hey, maybe you shouldn't work for us anymore. Something's not right. You're not showing up for your classes, or you're canceling too often. So because you're able to choose your schedule, I feel like you're able to prevent a lot of this. But things come up. You get sick, you have to cancel for whatever reason, or there was a technology issue. So you're going to randomly get some cancellations. But I really, I have not had many at all. And I find as long as you're professional and you make sure you open the schedule that you know that you can work, that typically you won't have to cancel many classes. So asking off it's not the typical asking off. It's more of you need off for any reason. If a class is canceled, that goes just against one of your 6. And number 7, unfair ratings. Now every parent is able to rate the class afterwards. You might not agree with these ratings that they give you. They might complain or say, oh, I didn't like how the teacher did this, or I didn't feel like there was enough energy, or whatever it is. You might not agree with it. And it doesn't feel good because you don't want other parents to be able to see these ratings. And it just isn't, to me, it's a con that you can't necessarily, you don't have much control over what these parents can write or say or do that other parents can see. Now, something that kind of helps with this situation, though, is you can tell Vipkid, hey, I don't agree with this rating. Can you review the class and potentially invalidate the score so it doesn't count against me? So this is something that helps a little bit to where you feel like, well, even if I don't necessarily like what they wrote, at least the score won't hurt me. It's not going to bring down my rating, that what other parents see as my rating. So that kind of, it's a con, but at least you can get it invalidated. And the last one, number 8. The pay increase is difficult. So there's definitely opportunities to get a pay increase every year, but to meet all the requirements is pretty intense. So it's something that when you get hired right on, you'd want to look into it to see, hey, what exactly would I need to have in order to get my pay increase at the end of the year, after completing my first year. So it's doable, but it's pretty complicated because you have to have very, very good statistics and be on top of it. So those are my pros and cons of Vipkid. Hopefully they helped you. I know it's a lot of information, but there it is.